children, if you somehow found this channel, welcome to the weekly beer and video review show with me, Travel Man Dan. Welcome, everybody. All right, today's going to be a fun show. Yes, Drunatic's in the house. Jens, I saw you here. It's going to be a really fun show. Oh, man, I am psyched up and ready to go. Let me just fix this little tweaker. Yeah, there we go. Got a little tweak on there. How's everybody doing? I got to adjust this real quick. Give me a second, everybody. How's it going? We got Jens. Cold as hell. That's what I like to hear. Tenacious Freak. Good to see you here. Welcome to the show, everybody. We got some fun. Jens, I heard it's freezing, cold as hell in Norway. I'm sure it is, but we got a fun show. I don't know how you guys are doing, but I hope you're doing well. It's going to be a lot of good times today. I got some fun stuff. We got some delicious beers, and we're definitely going to be having some fun talk throughout the show. So welcome to the show. If you're a regular or if you're new, we always welcome Aquanuts and everybody in the house. Welcome. So really pumped up. If you're new to the show, let me tell you a little bit about what we do here on the show. We go ahead. It is a weekly beer and video review show. So we go ahead and we review 2 delicious beers. I go ahead and drink them down, and I give you a score at the end of each beer. And then we talk about the videos that came out on my channel last week, and we preview the videos that are coming on the channel this upcoming week. All while having a fun time, bringing up segments like What Would You Rather, Show and Tell, This Day in History, What Are You Reading, What Are You Watching? You know, this is probably about a year and a half going strong, and I think with Greg Z, Barrow, and Tenacious Freak, you guys are probably the first 3 people to ever watch this, but with each and every one of you, Aquanuts, Drunatic, Jens, thank you so much. Really good to have you guys here. Without you guys, I'm really nothing, and I appreciate you showing up and spending time with me, having a beer, shooting the shit, that kind of thing. So without further ado, let's get right into the show today. I'm so excited. I'm so pumped up. Let me introduce you guys to the first beer we're going to be drinking today. Today's beer is a lot of fun for me because I've drank it before, but I haven't drank it in a long time. It brings back a lot of old and fun memories. I had one of the best times of my life traveling there. Fly me to the moon. Da-da-da. You know the song. All right, so guys, I don't know how much you've traveled throughout Asia. I know Jens has been there before. I'm not sure if you guys have ever been there before, but the country's beer that I'm about to bring to the show is a definitely must-see world destination. You must check this place out. It is awe-stricken. It is beautiful. It is inexpensive. The people are wonderful. The food are great. Yes, thank you. We're going to get into that later. Yeah, look at that, full-on Maryland. Yes. We're going to get into that in a little bit, but I want to introduce you guys. Today's first beer on the show, we'll be drinking from the country of Cambodia. I bring to you ANGKOR. That's right. Look at that, baby. ANGKOR. Really fun stuff. Now, I went to ANGKOR Wat years ago. Hey, Barrow, welcome. Guys, we already got 8 people in the room. That's exciting. Be sure to go ahead and hit that like button. But we are drinking ANGKOR. If you've never been to ANGKOR Wat, hey, nice to see you, Vishal. Welcome to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Vishal back in the house. Please give him a warm welcome. Thanks, Vishal. I'm looking forward to it. I've been to ANGKOR Wat. Oh, I love Cambodian food, and I'm going to get into that. One of the cool things about Cambodian food, and if this is your thing, if you like this or whatever, yes, what up, Frank? You know, Cambodia is pretty off the beaten path, if you will, and you can order happy milkshakes and happy pizza. So yeah, that's pretty fun. So you know, you can literally go to restaurants in ANGKOR Wat and you can order all these happy stuff. But there's also really good, delicious Cambodian food, which is very similar to Thai or Vietnamese or Laos, Southeast Asia. But I'm talking about ANGKOR Wat, the ruins. Oh, was she? That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's just Hey, Martin. Yes. Welcome to the show, Martin. The Jim Kelly jersey is right over there, buddy. Thank you so much. I'm so proud and happy when you show up. But yeah, this is the beer. Let me show you something really cool and unique about this beer. I just went to the beer store, Snowstorm. I got Trog's Double Blizzard in honor. Nice. Very nice, Frank and Vishal. I love it that you guys are all welcome each other on the show. You know, it's just really cool that collectively we were able to get together. We got about 35 people that show up to the show, and they're very, very loyal to this channel and loyal to me, and we all like drinking beer. So thank you so much. This is the really cool thing about this thing. It is not a can opener. It is like a bottle top. It's strange. Look at that, right? Definitely a different bottle opener. It's soft, okay? It's like a soft 10. You can see how, I know, 10, hit that like, guys. It's definitely like a soft 10. You don't need a bottle opener, so we're not going to use this until a little bit later. But we can see, we just peel this sucker up over like that, and it pops off, and that's what we got, and that's pretty cool. I really like that. And well, I'm gonna hold off to this because I put this to the side right away. You know, it smells. Hey, cousin Mike, welcome. What up? Cousin Mike is in the house. It's soft like your skin, Danny. Well, thank you, Vishal. I do have soft skin for you know. Oh, Emmy, what's up, Emmy? All right, my little cousin Emmy is in the house, guys. Welcome. All right, we are drinking this today, Emmy. I'm not sure if your mom and dad have ever had this, but ask them if they had. It is a 5%, okay? Their motto is "My Country, My Beer," and it is labeled a premium beer. Let's go ahead and see what this delicious smelling ANGKOR looks like. Okay, ooh, yeah, look at that, baby. Thank you, Barrow. Yeah, right away we look at it, but it looks really light, okay? It is definitely well carbonated. As you can see, the fizz going on in there. Just a really light beer. It is considered a Pilsner, I believe. Yeah, it's some type of Pilsner lager, okay? That shirt is mine. You like this? Everyone likes Maryland. I'm never going to drink. That's a good girl, Emmy. Guys, I got to tell you, Emmy, how old are you? Are you now, what? You got to be around 8 or 9? Okay, so please, no dirty language here, but thank you. Maybe that's why I like it. The light beer. Yeah, you're 9 years old. You never know, you know. You got in America, you never know. Until your crazy cousin comes along. Come on, Emmy, have a drink, will ya? Anyway, really light. Taking a look at it, you can see it's almost see-through. I can almost read a comment through the glass of beer. Somebody throw me up a comment, any comment. I'll see if I can read it through there. All right, anybody got something? Give me your number, or okay, we got a thumbs up from a Drunatic. Okay, Aquanuts. Okay, so really light beer, as you can see, not super carbonated. It's and already we see your hand. Yeah, look at this. All right, how many fingers? But one thing I really like about this is the aroma coming off it. It's got that, well, that base. I call it the base smell and taste of a beer. You know, the ANGKOR is the kind of one that you pony up at the beach. You're at the racetrack. You're somewhere good, somewhere hot, and you're getting ready to drink at least 15 of these. So you can see it's light, but it may be a ball game. And well, maybe you're maybe you're at ANGKOR Watt like me and my buddy Max were, and then you walk around because you do a lot of walking in the temples, and it's hot out there because it's Southeast Asia, and you just retreat to some little bungalow after, and you get a couple ANGKORs and you drink them down. And let's go ahead and see if it's got that sweet smelling. Let's see if it's got that sweet taste as it does that sweet smell. Oh wow! Thank you, Frank. Yeah, everybody's digging on the shirt. Oh man. That is delicious. Whoa. Barrow, yeah. Everyone loves it. Yeah, this is delicious. Wow. All right. It's got a very cereal taste to it, a very light, creamy grain taste to it. It's almost like a really, really light, grassy taste. Okay, you know how some beers are more of a pine tree flavor because of the strong hops, and we'll get into probably that a little bit later. But this, now you are tasting memory. Yes, exactly, Frank. Yeah, it's got a really mild, grassy flavor. Um, Always can like a good burp. Okay, a burp on a porter or a stout is much different than a burp on one of these premium lagers. And my country, my beer, not a bad first sip. If you're just hopping on, be sure to go ahead and hit that like beer. Go ahead and hit that like button. We're drinking the ANGKOR. It's good stuff actually. And like Frank said, it brings back a memory. It brings back something that I mean, I can just tell you right now. I was in Angkor Wat with my friend Max that I met in China as a teacher. And Max, I'll never forget the day he shows up. When you come to the school, you usually have your luggage with you. And he had all his luggage with him, and he dropped it off and it was in the teacher's office because they drive you right to the school for some reason without driving you home. I don't know. Hey, Brendan, welcome to the show. So I go over and I look at his tags, and lo and behold, on his tag say Buffalo, New York. So I meet him, and I'm like, "Hey, man, where are you from in Buffalo?" And he's like, "Kenmore." I was like, "No shit, I'm from Kenmore." And we became really good friends throughout many years that living in Asia. Nate knew him really well, but me and Max piggybacked a bus over to Cambodia, went and saw Angkor Wat, and that's exactly what that beer brings to me. Like I was telling you before, I like the soap thing that I do where I bring soap back from each country, and then when I wash with it here in the United States, I smell like, it smells like when I was in Thailand or when I was in Europe somewhere, you know. Definitely beer has that same effect. If you ever try ANGKOR, I suggest it. The first sip is delicious. Let's move on with the show. All right, COVID news. We're not going to get into it. I just hope that you guys are staying safe. Everyone is still being diligent, being careful. Me too. Thank you. We're going to get into that on the scorecard, Aquanuts. I hope that you're able to get some vaccination if that's your thing. If it's not your thing, that's cool too. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. I believe that each and every person has the right to choose what they want to put into their body. I think that the government here in the United States is going to make some restrictions. So, we'll see what happens. That's all I got to say about that. Let's roll on to, well, the elephant in the room. If you noticed, I'm not wearing any red, white, and blue. Unfortunately, the Buffalo Bills last week did not play well enough, and they lost to the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. And, well, it was a great season. You know, there's two ways to look at this. What would Maryland do? There's two ways to look at this. One is, yeah, me too, Frank. We're so close. But like I said, there's two ways to look at this. And I was talking to my mom this morning, and she said, it's poor and it's sad and all that. And I said, you know what, Mom, that's one way to look at it. Like, we were one game away from the Super Bowl, 2 games away from winning the Super Bowl, which we've never done. The last time we got this far was 1993. We went to the Super Bowl. So it's been a long time coming, right? It's been, 27 years? So for me, I kind of look at it as like, you know what? We were playing an amazing team. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce are unbelievable. If you don't know who they are, just Google it. And you can look at the downside of it. That, yeah, we were 1 game away from going to the Super Bowl. Still good is what I'm looking at, Tenacious Freak. Thank you, Drunatic. I appreciate that. We had a wonderful season. If you would have told me you're going to get to the AFC Championship game before the season, I would have been very happy. We haven't been there since 1993, so it's a huge accomplishment. It's something that you don't hang your head on. You're very proud of it. You get back to work, but now the bar is raised, right? Now there's a way to many positives taken away. Alan, yeah, he's the guy. There's so many positives, right? Big accomplishment. If you guys, it doesn't have to be sports, right? But think of something in your life and analyze it the same way as you went here for like the first time in many years or first time ever or something like that. It's a great accomplishment. I'm very proud of their team. And the bar is now set higher, which will then make the next few years something to really get excited about. Before it was all about, beating the Patriots. Sorry, Frank. And then it was about winning playoffs, getting to the playoffs. Then it was about winning the division. But I think now it's getting to the Super Bowl, and that bar has been raised. So what can I say, man? I'm not a sore loser. I'm very proud of the Buffalo Bills. I'm proud of their coaching staff. We retained all of our coaches. We had a good run in the 90s. It was a long drought, but it feels really good. And the thing I like the most about it is that the camaraderie of our city, people, know Buffalo as being a tough, cold, hard-working town, and on national display for about 5 weeks. Whereas the Buffalo Bills and our football team and the community that rallied around them. I mean, Lamar Jackson, the guy that we beat in the first playoff game, they could be the Jets. That's right. I'm sorry, the second playoff game. He got knocked out of the game, like hit really hard, and his head whipped back, and he got concussed, and he was taken out. One of the premier quarterbacks in the league. He's got this thing where he's got a charity called Backpacks for Kids or whatever. I'm not sure what it was. Now, the people of Buffalo felt so compelled that their star was taken out of the playoff game that they started donating money to his charity and raised almost $500,000 in support, and basically saying, like, hey, Lamar, we know it's just a game. We're sorry that you were hurt and taken out of the game. We're gonna go ahead and donate to your charity to let you know that it's just a game. All right, that to me is more than football, and it makes me really proud to be from Buffalo, because those are people I grew up with. Those are people that I stand around when I go home, and just something about that really is a prideful thing. You don't see that. You haven't seen anything like that, and we've done it a few times. We did it when Josh Allen's grandma died, and we did it when Andy Dalton threw a touchdown who got us in the playoff. We're talking almost $1 million on each one. So the community really rallies around their football team. I'm really proud to say that I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. And thank you, Carlos. Thank you so much. And that's not just because they played well. 15 watching after 15 minutes, rooting for Brady in the Super Bowl then. Well, that's a good question, Martin, because Brady kicked our ass for 20 years. And Kansas City just beat us, so we would be in that spot. I really wanted to play Brady. And a few years ago, I came to this thing. I was like, why do I hate Brady? Because he beats us. That's it. But he's a good dude, a model citizen, loves his wife and family, goes out and wins for his team. If he was on your team, you'd like him. He's a competitor. Yeah, he does a little bratty things, right? Like when he wins, he shakes everyone's hands and he's happy, whatever. When he loses, he hightails it to the locker room, which I think is kind of Bush League. So, but I just I just don't like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs either. I think they're cocky. Nothing against Patrick Mahomes. I think he's a splendid player. But it's going to be a tough one. I want them to both lose. I really do. But I'll tell you what, Martin, that Andre jersey shows up. That Andre Reed thing pops up in my mailbox. I'll wear that Patriots shirt for the day. And you and Frank and all the other Bostonians and New Englanders will be very happy. If I could share a beer with Brady or Mahomes. If you could share a beer with Brady or Mahomes, that's an interesting bet to make. That's funny. You know what? I would probably trade. If I could share a beer in the same room. Thank you, Martin. I would share it with Brady, to be honest with you. Yeah, and Gronk. Gronk's got to be from there. Gronk's from Buffalo, so like I said, they beat us. It's all underwater under the bridge. People don't remember we beat the Patriots, beat the hell out of them in the 80s and 90s. They were like the worst team until they got Brady and Belichick. Well, until they got Bledsoe and Belichick, and then Brady took over. They were the worst team in football. They were the laughing stock. So, however you want to look at it, no poor sport. Guys, I think Gronk seems like a human. Yeah, exactly. He seems like a Buffalo dude from South. Gronk is exactly my kids from my neighborhood, Anyway, this is what we're drinking. We're drinking a beer a long ways from my neighborhood. It is ANGKOR. It's from ANGKOR Watt. It is light. As you can see, it's not very cloudy, as you can see through it. So the lightness of it is really, really pure. It's refreshing. It's tasty. Let me go in for another sip. Yeah, it's really, I love that light grassy taste of a beer. It's really easy. After a hot day of working, you want to suck it down. And I got to be honest, there's a lot of Asian beers that I like. There's a lot of Asian beers. Still love Buffalo. Thank you, Drunatic. I definitely like some of like the Korean beers are good. The Japanese dry beers are good, but I'll tell you, ANGKOR may be the best of all the Asian beers. It's really light. It's really simple. It's refreshing. It's what you're craving when you want to taste a beer. That's what you're getting here. So anyway, moving right along. How about that AMC and GameStop and Robinhood, all that kind of crazy business? I don't know if you guys had paid any attention to the Reddit users and the stock prices. What's your size for the patch shirt? I wear like a large. You know, I used to wear extra large, and I was a little bit bulkier, and I wore things like 90s baggy, but I don't like boxy shirts anymore. But anyway, but yeah, how about that GameStop, AMC, retail traders, if you will, the Reddit users? If you guys have paid any attention to this, I couldn't believe this. I just couldn't believe this because, you know, I think it's really screwed up that whoever runs Robinhood or the SEC, whoever put a stop on it, stopped people from buying shares. That's just effed up, right? That's just totally goes against everything that we, that we preach over here, and democracy and all that and stuff like that. It should be free trade if you put it out there. And they literally, as their stock started going up, they put a stop on I believe GameStop, I believe it was a Nokia, Bed Bath & Beyond, AMC, so that people that were, inexperienced, unsophisticated traders weren't able to drive that stock, which then affects the hedge funds. Now, I don't know exactly what that does and what that means. I'm not a financial guru, so don't take any of my advice. But what I will tell you is, and if anybody that knows me very well, is I've been clamoring about AMC stock since September. Since my friend Nate introduced me to Robinhood at the Airbnb that I did like way back, I don't know, September-ish, whatever. Martin's got a magic closet of Bill's shit. Just, oh, dude, I want to see that thing, man. But yeah, so I had actually been buying AMC for months now. I just been stockpiling it because it's been dropping. And AMC, if you don't know what it is, it stands for American Movie Company, and it's one of the stocks that I really believe in. And I'm not very financially savvy, but I knew that movie theaters were going to plummet during this pandemic. Jens, nice, and they were going to come back. Like all good things, they're going to come back. They're the largest in the United States. They're in Europe. They're all in South America a little bit. People are going to want to go to the movies again. And I think even if they don't want to go to the movies, rather than them going ahead with the whole streaming option, because it is becoming quite saturated, I think what they're going to do is get the new releases that they would normally get at theaters and be able to option people to buy specific new releases from the AMC app. Now, that hasn't been invented. Maybe it will. But I knew that their stock would be going back up. And if you buy it at $2, before the pandemic, it was like at $6. Now, whatever happened, I don't know if you guys saw this, whatever, it drove the stock crazy to one point where it was $25. And then they put a stop on it, and then it plummeted. I think it's sitting around 13. So it's almost double than what it was at the start of the pandemic. Really crazy stuff. If you guys are unfamiliar with the story that I'm talking about, it's pretty big news, because what happened is a bunch of people on Reddit were going ahead and pushing these retail stocks to normal and average people, such as myself, such as just non-day traders, non-Series 7 people, non-financial people, and they were going and buying it because Robinhood is literally that easy to buy stock, and they were driving that stock price up. So whoever put a stop to that, that really sucked. But if you were able to get out in time, you made some money. Now, the one thing that I will say that is just be careful. All right, Dodgy Coin and XRP. Yeah, XRP. I have some of that too. And Dodgy Coin, I believe, is the bump, like it tanked. So we'll have to see. XRP is on complete hold. You can't buy any shares. It can grow and you can pull it out, but you can't buy any. So that's an interesting thing, and it goes back to the what would you rather topic that we were talking about last week. Would you rather have cryptocurrency or stocks? Could you call Mr. Mark for the show? Borrow, I did. I called him. I would love that. Borrow, you make me so happy when I see that. He had a bunch of martinis, and he did not make it today. He said he was very tired. He had a bunch of martinis with Steve yesterday and couldn't make the show. I know, we miss him. I got to start pushing him. I don't push anybody to come to the show. I ask him, tell him what time the show is. But I talked to my dad this morning. He said he just drank way too much last night and he needs to nap. So he will not be making it, unfortunately. But the fact that you're asking for them, Drunatic and Borrow, they will be thrilled. It really does like warm my heart. I don't know who's here. Give me a shout out if you're here. Let me know who's on. I see a couple of you guys on. I know Jens is here. Jens is an OG. He is one of the original 25s, and he's you know, really just a strong supporter of the channel, and I can't thank him enough. I know Tenacious Freak is here. Aquanuts, Drunatic, Borrow. Nate, are you here? Brendan, let me know who's still here. Pop up in the box, let me know, say what's up. Cheers to you guys. We are now moving along to the next topic. If you're here in the United States, you probably have seen this. I had no idea what this was. I still don't understand what the hell makes people popular, right? I come here and I work my ass off, and you know, I'll get my due. Frank's here, Brendan's here, Jen's here. Yes. All right, Tenacious. Yes, you're definitely. And listen, I know I'm slacking on the patches. I promise you guys, you're getting patches. I just been working a full-time job, and it's taken a lot out of me. Along with this, I'm going to get you your patches. I swear to that. So listen, yeah, what the hell makes people famous? Now, I know what makes people successful, but have you guys seen these Bernie Sanders memes? Like, it's the strangest thing that goes viral. I think it's hilarious. I have no idea why I think it's hilarious. I think it's more funnier that people think it's funny than it's actually funny, because there's really nothing to it. It's a 7-year-old man wearing a winter coat with his legs crossed and is wearing like some, thank you, Drunatic, wearing mittens and a mask, just sitting there. And apparently it's from Joe Biden's, thank you, Frank, you get it, right? It's from Joe Biden's inauguration as the president. He's sitting by himself in a chair. I have no idea why this is funny. I just kept seeing it everywhere. People recreating it through Photoshop. I seen one that was really funny where he's like this and he's got some UFC fighter in an arm bar. That was pretty much really funny. That was the only one. But other than that, I see absolutely nothing to it. I just don't know, because he looked like a clown. I mean, you know, he's been pretty successful. Whatever. Despite what you think politically, this is not that kind of show. He's moved his way up in politics, and that's the game in politics, is to see how high you can actually get. I think when people really start off, they are for the people. Are you willing to capitalize on these weekly? Exactly. It's just really weird. I don't know how to do Photoshop, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. But then here, let's take another example. So I just saw yesterday that, if you guys don't know who this is, what is the name? Have seen it on Facebook. Yeah, it's everywhere. Nathan Apopka. Okay, he is also known as Dogface on TikTok, and he is just, I thought it was a nice gesture. A teacher made him those. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's always cool, you know. But I just don't understand the humor behind it. If this was another, listen, I can probably go in the East Coast right now, or somewhere in Canada, or somewhere cold, and I could probably take 10 pictures of old men with their legs crossed in a jacket with a mask on and wearing mittens. I just have no idea why it's so funny to people. That's what makes it funny. You lost me at TikTok. All right, so I'm going to tell you who he is. He is this guy that became uber famous within the last 4 or 5 months by skateboarding and drinking a cranberry, raspberry, ocean spray like 2-liter. I have no idea why This is famous. What they do is, if you're unfamiliar with TikTok, it's either Corvette, this one, or this is my age, this is my thing, this is my, you know what I mean? Like, it's just this, TikTok is just so weird. Or you want to get rich? Go here. You want to do it? This is the side hustle you must be doing. That's all TikTok is. We already talked about that. But this guy has made a fortune off of skateboarding with Stevie Nicks, the Fleetwood Mac's song "The Dreams," as he's skateboarding and drinking a cranberry. It's a cran raspberry ocean spray drink. Now, the Museum of Idaho, where he lives, has now taken that thing and added it into their museum as a display where you can see it. Pop culture, okay, social phenomena. I have no idea why that video of all the videos, because I've seen some funny things, and to me, funny is like people falling. I don't know if that's funny to you guys, but I love watching people fall. It's like you can't. I take that back. I like watching people fall, don't get hurt. Dude makes it to me. That's wild. I know. He's just all over the place. He was at the inauguration. He's all over the place. Cran raspberry or ocean spray. Yeah, it's bizarre. And he's like the total like cholo. Like, I think that's what's cool about it too for him. Good for him. Like, I'm not putting salt in anybody, man. Good for him. Like, I'm in the game too. I understand it. And he made it. Awesome. Congratulations, Nathan. You did great. I have no idea why. I don't see it. I'm sorry about that, but his dances, little TikTok dances and stuff like that, he's pretty cool. You know, I like that. But he's this great like 90s cholo, socks up to the knees, baggy, you know, mustache, pretty cool guy. You know, probably somebody that if I met in LA, I would be like, yeah, what's up, dude? You know what I mean? Like, really easygoing guy. Was living in a trailer with no running water. I know what that's like. I know what it's like to be down and out, and good for him. That's all I gotta say. So good for him. I just don't understand what makes social phenomena, pop culture, so big. You got a guy, an old man sitting with his mittens, and you got a guy on a skateboard drinking who's singing Stevie Nicks. Who knows? I can't wait till the next big one happens. Anyway, if you're just hopping on, thanks for joining us. If you've been on since the start of the show, thank you for staying with me. We're drinking this. It is ANGKOR. It is a light, grassy Pilsner. Really enjoying it. It's a 5% beer. It is from Angkor Wat, and it is, well, it's imported by HC Foods, Los Angeles, so it is imported here. We'll get to that a little bit later when we do the scorecard. Here we go. Let's go suck this down. Yeah, just really nice beer. No sourness to it. Really refreshing. Really enjoying the ANGKOR beer. Cheers, Drunatic. Now, the next thing is one of our favorite segments, Show and Tell. That's right, Show and Tell. Now, eventually, we're going to be doing algorithm. Yeah, I might have something to do it. Cheers, Frank. We're going to be doing Show and Tell worldwide. I'm working on the software where we're going to bring my buddy Nate Messick in for Would You Eat It or Not? I'm still looking for someone to take over the segment of This Day in History. I might do multiple teachers. I'm looking for real history teachers. Cousin Brian's very busy, but if you know of any real history teachers, please let me know. Shoot me an Instagram direct message, and I'll definitely like to get them on the show. Maybe if they do it once a month or whatever. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we're eventually going to bring that in. But here's the cool thing. Show and Tell. I know a guy for This Day in History. Frank, I would like to, yeah, let's talk, man. Shoot me a Facebook, and I'm setting up the software. Should be good to go after February. Oh, man. He's an LA guy. Who's that, man? I would love to know him. Yeah, if I already know him, that's cool, yeah. I would love to bring in somebody that I know, feels comfortable. The main thing is going to be reliability, but the show and tell thing I'm going to do from people from all over the world. Okay, please do. I'm going to be doing people from all over the world. Each person each week is going to be able to send me a direct message, then tell me what they, thank you, Drunatic, tell me what they want to show and tell. And look, don't pull the wool over my eyes, because I'll have the link. I can cut you off, that type of thing. Like, don't, like, all right, I'm going to show this and then pull out something, you know, you can imagine what you know, drug related or sexual or weird, you know what I mean? We keep it light and easy here. We don't want to see that stuff. You never know who's watching. So show and tell is going to be brought to us from all different people around the world. So that'll be really fun. This day in history, I'd like to get a real history teacher. We got Nate's segment. So look for new things to start developing on the show where it's not just me. But until then, I'm doing show and tell, and this is what we're doing, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, my friends around the world, I introduce to you, given to me by my roommate, the Cootie Key. All right, check it out, guys. This is the Cootie Key. All right, my roommate gave this to me. Yeah, it's going to be awesome, Tenacious Freak. This is the Cootie Key. Now, what is the Cootie Key? During the pandemic, all right, you have this thing, right? Check this thing out. It's like a little hooky, right? And it says Cootie Key on it. It's got a little rubber knot here, okay, kind of like your fingertip. And what you do is you put it on your belt, right? I know, a lot of odd stuff. Yeah, exactly. And you go like this, right? And this is for opening doors, all right? Touching handles, right? No, Cootie. Yeah. This is for you know, you're going into a restaurant, you're going into a shopping mall, and you go ahead and you don't want to touch the door handle, because that's the main place, the brass knuckles. Yeah, that's the main place where people are, you know, going ahead and touching. So we can see in the picture. And then over here in the ATM, that's what this little rubber knot is for. So you can go ahead and poke in the thing. You're not touching all the numbers. Maybe you're at the grocery store. You got in by going like this. Usually grocery stores have the doors that open up on themselves, but maybe you're in like a department store or a store that doesn't have those. So you can use the Cootie Key to open it up, and you go ahead and you give them your debit card, and you go ahead and you can use this to punch it in. It's got this little hook that hooks onto your thing right here. Okay, so you got it on your belt, and you just cootie it up. You Cootie Key it up. Okay, strange little odd invention. My roommate gave this to me. Going to the Blockbuster, smart knob. Okay, yeah, you know, this thing is pretty neat. It reminds me of something that you'd see in Japan. Reminds me of something that you'd see in a Japanese magazine. I love the odd stuff. I use it in my photo sessions. All right, Drunatic, when I send you your patch, I'm gonna send you the Cootie Key. Okay, I'm gonna send you one of these. You can photograph it, and it's pretty cool, you know. So I got you. Don't worry. This Cootie Key is yours, Drunatic. I'm going to send it to you. Can you drink your beer with it? No, you can't, unfortunately. Jens, good question. Good question, but no, you cannot. Like I said, it's just one of those weird things, but I like these little things. One of the things that I absolutely love, and this is pre-pandemic. No, there is no bottle opener on it. Here, I'll give you guys a little breakdown. Great invention. Thank you, Paro. Use the hook for opening doors, flushing lever toilets. Now, you know, pulling slot machine levers, carrying shopping bags while using as a crutch or walker. Very interesting. Okay, Jens, can you some gaffa tape? Yeah. All right. Use the rubber tip. ATM, gas station pumps. Right. A lot of people use those pumps. Check on the registers. Yep. Elevator buttons. Ooh. All right. Vending machine buttons. Pushing doors open. Right. You can have that Cootie Key and push it open. Lots of different uses. Lots of different ways to use the Cootie Key. I'm going to put this sucker right here. This is for you, Drunatic. I'm sending you the Cootie Key. That's pretty cool. Right off this show, you get that one. But one of the things I want to talk about before, like I was saying, is the Japanese, man. They come out with the coolest inventions. And one of the coolest inventions I've ever seen, I thought it was going to be an awesome idea, was, okay, so for guys, we have to lift the toilet seat, right? We have to, like, pick it up and lift it and whatever. And I always felt like it was disgusting when you touch the toilet seat. Because let's say you walk into a toilet and the seat is down, right? You got it, Drunatic. And the seat is down, and then you have to touch it and lift it up, right, to pee. Or, you know, I don't know if you pee around it, whatever. But sometimes you lift it up, right? Then you got, like, the germs on the actual toilet seat. and then, well, you have to hold your genitalia to urinate. So the Japanese have created this little thing where it's just a little handle, like a little stick that you pull up the toilet seat, so you never actually touch the toilet seat. And I love that invention. It's a little screw on to the toilet. They've mastered the toilets. It's really good stuff. I had a great time in Japan on their electric toilets, and I think that is also a great invention. I don't know what it's called. We'll call it the toilet stick, the toilet lever. But if you ever see one of those things, let me know what you think. Try it out. I think it's a very useful thing, much like the Cootie Key. Hey guys, we're going back to the ANGKOR. This is the beer show. We're gonna swig this down. I'm gonna give it a score, and then we're gonna get into what would you rather. Here we go. Super smart. Delicious. Very, very delicious. I will say this. I'm loving you guys. I miss Greg Z and I miss Aston. Okay. What can I say about the ANGKOR? Really, really nice taste. Use a piece of paper. There you go. A tissue. Okay. Nice. It really, yeah. That's probably the smartest way to go. I'm underthinking it, I guess. But anyway, let's get back to the scoring. Unfortunately, I'm still on this. I'm still on the old scoreboard. Thinking the right way to do it. I don't want to rush into anything. I want to think of the best way to do it. When I have that, it'll be done, and we'll go from there. But this is what we're going to do. So the first one is the ANGKOR taste. Now, I think it is a delicious taste. For the beer that you get, really nice taste. It's got, like I said, that cereal taste to it, a light grassy taste. Got a terrific aroma. I'm really enjoying the sip that I get from it. I feel like any type of weather, it's really good. But in the summer, it's going to be delicious. If you're on vacation and you're in anywhere in Cambodia, I'm sure you can get it. Or I'm sure that you can get it at some kind of like beer store in your local area. But it is really good. I'm going to give it a solid score of a 4.0. Okay, I really like it. I think it's got a great taste. Now, the price. Price is good. All right, price is a little bit cheaper than most of the bottles at $2.75. So a beer from Cambodia at that price, really good. And I think that's a fair price for any bottle of beer. And then when the bottle of beer is good, it's a win-win-win, right? All across the board, you're good to go. And that's why I'm going to give it also a score of a 4.0. Right? Easy peasy. That's a layup, right? You get a bottle of beer for $2.75, you take it. All right, now the design. We had some rumors earlier that we liked it. Cap is awesome, right? Okay, the cap is awesome. Love that. We're going to go with the design of this, okay? So we're going to throw the cap on top of it as part of the design, okay? Look at that. It's pretty cool, right? Pretty awesome. The cap is brilliant, to be honest with you. I've never seen it on any other beer. Grolsch, a beer from Czech Republic or Dutch, we've done before, has like a rubber stopper thing. But this thing is really nice. It just peels off really good. It's fantastic. The ingenuity of it, the simplicity of it. It's not like you need to be a big burly hurly to go ahead and pull this sucker off. Any kid could pull this thing off. Emmy, if you're still with us, I bet you could rip this open and pour a beer for your mom or dad. But I like that. Also, I had a Carlsberg at some point. Oh, that's cool. I never knew that. But yeah, the design, it's a little bit of English and a little bit of Khmer. Check out the Cambodian Khmer writing. Really cool. Lots of weird, funky, squiggly writing. I like that it's very simple in the label. And it's funny because on my Instagram, some guy messaged me about beer labels and said he wanted this label. I don't know where he's from, but was in plastic bottle. People don't like it. Okay, maybe this is in a glass bottle. Maybe the plastic bottle was something with the taste, but it really was kept quite fresh, to be honest with you. But yeah, the guy asked me for this label. I will give it to him. I just don't know how to get the label off in one piece. So looking at the design, I think it's really cool. I think they got a great slogan, "My country, my beer." I think it's really cool that it's in English and Khmer. I think that's bitchin' and badass that it's something new and that we've never seen here before. I think that's really kind of neat. I think that this can gives it a little edge, right? Now, it's a very simple brown bottle beer, like your common beer, right? We'll call them your common beers. It's not crafty. It's not something so obscure that you can't find it or whatever. It's your common beer of Cambodia. Okay, just send the whole bottle. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do. I think I'm just gonna send them the whole bottle. But anyway, that's why I'm also gonna give it a score of a 4.0. Great score. All right, great score. Loved it. Okay, the only thing that kept it down a little bit was just something about the color scheme, and well, if it was a little more art creative, I'd be tougher on the scores, right? But I would have gave this, had this not had this crazy bottle, this would have got like a 3, right? Or 3.5 maybe. But because of this, pour boiling ice on the bottle, which will heat the glue from, dude, for sure. Freaking love you, man. That's a great idea. All right, that's how I'm gonna do it. Good idea. All right, accessibility. Now this beer, you should open. Now, nice tip. Yeah. Okay. The accessibility. Now this beer was pretty easy. I just went to Total Wine and got it. It's pretty easy to find here in Los Angeles if you go to one store. But for the most part, it's not very accessible. You can't find it at your regular convenience stores. You might be able to find it down in Cambodia Town or Thai Town. It's just not really that accessible. I went to a specialty store, so it was there. But like when I go ahead and measure these beers, I don't think you're going to be able to find this all over the world. I think it's going to be quite difficult to find in Latin America. I think it's going to be really tough to find in Africa. And I think like parts of Asia will have it, but that's pretty much it. North America, no. And Europe, special places, but other than that, not very accessible to the world. In Cambodia, I think it's pretty easy. But that's what's going to hurt the score a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and give the accessibility a score of a 2.5. 2.5. Now, the Travel Man Dan factor, the wow factor, there's something different. Who knows what it is, why it is, and where it comes from. But I'll tell you what, the reason I'm going to give this one, I'm going right with the score, and I'm giving a 4.0. A delicious, awesome score for the Travel Man Dan factor. And the reason is because I've been to Angkor Wat. I've drank this specific brand in its country, and for me that does bring back a lot of memories. Like Frank suggested, I loved how they had this cap. That thing is so cool, and I haven't seen it on any beer before. I just really liked this taste of this beer, and I felt like it deserved a proper score. So with bringing back memories of travel, this ingenuity and creativity on the can, and just the overall taste, the Travel Man Dan factor brings it with a score of a 4.0. So if we total all these suckers up, we got 4.0 for taste, we got 4 for price, 4 for design, 4 for the TMD factor. That right there is going to bring us to 16 plus 2.5 on the accessibility. And ladies and gentlemen, we have our highest scoring beer here on the Weekly Beer and Video Review Show with Travel Man Dan at an 18.5. How, man? Wow, we have the Bubble Farm registering at 18. We got a new record, guys. The ANGKOR is an 18.5. That's an amazing score. That is closer to 25 than we've ever gotten. And well, I'm happy that I drank it. Yeah, it's really good. I definitely suggest you guys try it out. If you're in Vegas like Brendan, go to Lee's. They might have it. Other than that, I don't know where you're going to find it. But if you do find it, let me know. Circle back on this video and let me know. And now it's time for one of our favorites, if not my favorite segment, the What Would You Rather? Yes, what would you rather? Gonna have a good time today. Here we go. Here we go. Bang, bang. Okay, what would you rather, guys? Now, the best thing is you can go ahead and throw it up here. But if you wait till the end of the show to go ahead and leave me your comments, I'll always circle back by Wednesday or Thursday, and I will write down what I think of your answers. Usually positive, but it also helps in my comments review. All right, so here we go. Guys, what would you rather? There is no right or wrong. It's just your decision. Now, these countries, I got this from another vlogger, another YouTube guy for travel, and these are the really bizarre countries that nobody ever goes to. So who would you rather? I felt inspired from last week when I didn't really know too much about those islands to bring you 2 more islands. Now check it out. I'm gonna go ahead and put them down in the description below. So if you want to take some time on this one, thank you, Barrow. I forgot to write it down. No problem. It'll always be in the description. If you want to take some time and do some research, maybe you don't know these 2 countries because I never heard of them. You can go ahead. I'll put it down in the description. Go and do some research on these countries and figure out which one you'd rather go. But here they are. All right. The one is called Comoros, and it is an island in East Africa. Okay, it's an island, right? You have the main continent of Africa, and then you have Madagascar over here, and it is a tiny little island between the waterway, right? Between the main continent of Africa and Madagascar, and it is called Comoros. Comoros. No idea about it. Have no clue what it is about. I've never heard of this country. I just ripped it off of somebody else's page when they were talking about it. And I thought it was interesting. I did some research on it, and it looks really cool. Or would you rather go to, all right, let me pronounce this right, Nauru, and it is in Micronesia. So it is like way out there, right? It is like, okay, you got Papua New Guinea and all those little islands, and then way out there, you got Nauru. I have no idea how you would get there. Probably some kind of propeller plane. Probably something that is very small. Who knows what the airport looks like. Probably some delicious fish on that island. But check it out. It's either Nauru or Comoros. Now, for me, I love Asia. Absolutely love it. Okay? I can spell it, so I'll just say the second one. Yeah. Okay, so the spelling for the second one is Nauru, Nauru, and the first one is Comoros, Comors. I probably said that completely wrong, but it'll be down in the description. You can check it out from there. I love Asia. I think it would be really cool. Micronesia, you're really out in the middle of nowhere, right? You're like way out in the ocean, the Pacific Ocean. Just the flight there, really exciting, okay? Dangerous, but exciting, that kind of thing. But for me, as I almost got stationed in Madagascar studying lemurs or helping with the preservation of lemurs, I think it'd be really cool to go back to an African island. Number 2, please. Yeah, okay. So for me, I'm going to pick the East African island of Comoros. I have no idea what it's about. It looked beautiful. It looked like they had some great seafood as well, and that's where I would pick. So what would you rather? Do some research if you need to. Follow back after the show and let me know down in the descriptions. All right, here comes question number 2. Question number 2 is, what would you rather eat? Okay, so one of my favorite foods, speaking of Asia, is this one, and it is called Goi Konan. And it is basically translated into a summer roll. It is a Vietnamese. It looks like this. I don't know if you guys ever had this thing. It is absolutely delicious. Let's take a look at it. Okay, so this is clear rice paper. Inside is all kinds of delicious vegetables like mince and leafy greens. And then you got some shrimps, and sometimes there's a little thin strip of pork. Down here you have what is like their peanut sauce. And over here is probably either fermented fish oil or some type of hot sauce. But I absolutely love this. I was growing up, well, I was a young man. I almost married a Vietnamese girl, and her mother would make me piles of these. I mean, like just stacks of these, and I would crush them. And they're delicious. It's like eating salad a different way because they're light. They're really flavorful if you dip it in this peanut. Delicious. Summer roll. If you're ever in a Vietnamese restaurant, look for these on the menu. You're going to love it. The second one, I've never seen this before, and this is brought to us from South Africa, specifically the city of Durban, South Africa, and I'm talking about bunny chow. Hi, Nate. Okay, we're doing a what would you rather? Would you rather eat bunny chow? Now look at this thing. All right, bunny chow, what is that, right? That is a quarter loaf of bread, okay? And it is lopped off and basically inside there is some like stewy, well, curry, right? Hi, Marie. And so take a look at that. That is from South Africa. Now, to understand Durban, Durban is in South Africa and is directly across from India. So the Indian population in Durban is enormous. You can find delicious, awesome Indian food there. And I wasn't able to go there when I was staying in South Africa, but I definitely, it looks like prison food, but definitely very interested in this thing. It is, well, it's called the bunny chow, or would you rather the summer roll? Which would you rather, guys? One is really fresh. This one looks really spicy and heavy. Now, I've had this a million times. I absolutely love this. Definitely always try to get it, but I'm going with Tenacious Freak and the prison food. I really want to try this thing. I don't know how you eat it because you can't really rip into the sides walls because that curry will come out. Since I've never heard of, yeah, look at this thing, Brendan. What do you think of the bunny chow? I think your brother might like it. I wonder if your brother can make this because he likes Indian food, and yeah, it looks pretty. It looks literally like an uncut loaf of bread with stew inside of it. But there it is, bunny chow and summer roll. I'm up for the bunny chow. Question number 3: what would you rather? What would you rather go to? Right? Would you rather go to a live theater, like? It doesn't have to be Shakespeare, but like something modern or something classical, you could, right? I love Indian food too. Or would you rather go to a movie? Which would you rather go and sit next to somebody and watch and be entertained? Okay, and here's the catcher. Travel Man Dan is an actor in both. So you can go see Travel Man Dan in a play. You can go see Travel Man Dan in a movie. Which would you rather? No, I'm just kidding. But what would you rather go see? Would you rather go see a movie in a theater or a play? That's a tough one because I absolutely love it. I love acting and I appreciate both. But if I had to choose one, I love the theater and I love movie theater. I love the movie theater. I love the movie theater. live all day. Thank you. I love the movie theater like Tuesday afternoon around 1 o'clock when nobody's around. There's like 6 people in there. You can hog wild. Plays are always wonderful to watch. It's a tough one. That's why I made a tough what would you rather. But for me, I would like to go see. And I love the sound. I love the dark theater. Well, especially if it's a good movie. You come out of the theater, you feel cleansed. You feel different, right? I'm not saying that you don't when you see theater, but just something about when you see a good movie. Anyway, moving on. Question number 4. Question number 4 is this. We might have had this one before. I'm not really sure, but here it goes. Which fan are you of more? Are you a fan of the Marvel Universe? Okay? Or the DC world? Okay, you got Superman, Batman, are obviously there's big ones, Wonder Woman, and you got over here, you got, of course, the Avengers, and you got the Fantastic Four, and you got all the other Marvel guys. So which one do you prefer? If you could only have one viewing, one comic book, one merchandise, Marvel for sure, okay? Thor, okay? Shout out, you like the Thor. Yes, you are Scandinavian. Marvel, we're getting a lot of DC, okay? Likes the Batman guy, okay? You know, there's a lot of other obscure characters in the DC world that a lot of people just don't know about, right? There's there's Batman cartoons are great. But for me, personally, if I'm gonna have to do more, what would you rather? All right, I'm gonna have to go with Marvel myself as well. My favorite character of all the comics is the Thing from the Fantastic Four. I just like the Marvel Universe more. I like the Punisher. I love DC Worlds. It's a tough one, right? But if I had to choose, what would I rather? I'm going with Marvel. And yeah, let me know down in the comments below which one you'd go with. All right. The next one is a funny one. It's not a disgusting one. Movies are way better than Marvel. Yeah, I feel like that too. They're catching up, DC. They're catching up, though. They're getting better. All right. So this one is going to be, what would you rather? And I'm sorry if I offend you. So if you guys are offended by this, I'm apologizing ahead of time, but I probably don't care that much, because if you maybe believe this, there's really, it's the irony. It's the cynical jokery of this whole what would you rather. What would you rather? What kind of asshole would you rather be? Right? What kind of jerk off would you rather be? Someone that actually believes that the earth is flat. Okay? I mean, you have to believe it. It gets ingrained in you, and you believe that the earth is flat. Okay? Because you know there's these conspirators, there's people out there that believe the earth is flat. So would you rather be that, or would you rather be one of these people, one of these conspirators that really wholeheartedly, with everything in their soul and their heart, believe that we never walked on the moon? That the moon landing of Apollo 11 in 1969 was a hoax. Okay, which would you rather? I would love to hear from you. I think it's hilarious because I met Buzz Aldrin. I met him before. Neil Armstrong was first. Buzz Aldrin was second. I met him when I worked at an observatory. Yeah, we used to have these people, and they would show up with like picketing signs and like "Earth is flat, Earth is flat," and then like the next night, people would show up, a different crowd. Aren't they the same person? That's tough. How's the new truck? Yeah, Buzz is awesome. Yeah, he shook my hand. Was like, "How you doing, young man? The truck is great. Thank you, Obi. Good to see you here." And yeah, what type of? Everyone say hello to Obi. Obi is from Laos. Obi, look what we drank today. Check it out. It is from Cambodia, very close to Laos. Okay, ANGKOR. All right, so, but we need to get some beer Lao on the show. I'm the Earth. It's kind of flat ass. Yeah, it's a tough asshole, right? I mean, what kind of, I'm literally telling you, we have fights with these people because they get you so provoked and they really believe that the earth is flat, or they really believe that the moon landing never happened. And it's just so wacky. Anyway, because I met Buzz Aldrin, I'm going to have to go with a flat earther. That's the kind of jerk I am. You know, I can't believe I'm saying that. This is all done as a joke, guys. I totally believe the world is circular. The earth is circular. I totally believe we landed on the moon. I shook the man's hand, for crying out loud, who landed. It was number 2. And yeah, it's just, I thought that would be funny to put up there. Maybe it'll spark some controversy. I don't know. If you really believe that, I don't know what to tell you. Man, I gotta say, I'm a jerk. Tenacious freak. No, you are not. You are wonderful. But those are some crazy conspiracies. That's the what would you rather. Guys, thank you. We're rolling on. We're going to bring out the second beer from the cooler. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you guys the second beer on today's show. This one I'm really pumped about because it's got a little special thing that says, well, exclusively, and is only brewed in small batches. I'm into that though. Oh, no. That's great. I love it, Tenacious Freak. That's why, listen, it doesn't change my opinion about anybody. If that's what you believe, you know I'm very neutral. Good for you. You know what I mean? It's all in fun. It's what you believe, and who am I to say, right? Everyone has their own beliefs. You know, I can probably show you pictures. I will choose the Flat Earth Society. Me too. So interesting to look at it. I just don't understand where the reasoning comes from. That's my whole thing. I just don't understand it. But let's get into the second beer. Guys, the second beer is going to be a lot of fun one, especially if it does what the beer is. The Flat Earth is insane. Okay, I can't tell if you're being serious or not with me. But anyway, this is what we're doing. It is a fine ale. It is from Indian Wells Brewing Company. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduced the second beer, and it is Amnesia IPA. Look at, I don't know where I am. What happened to me? Okay, I forget. Anyway, let's go ahead. We got the red bottle opener that we haven't used in a while on the show. I like the green, just the green cap. Galileo. Thank you. Yes. So let's go ahead and crack this one open. Whoo! Okay, really strong. And which is really bizarre because I looked at this bottle of beer more than I have of any bottle of beer that I've ever had on this show. Looked it up and down, over and around. And I could not find the alcohol. What moon landing? I could not find the alcohol percent on this thing. Now, it is a very small brewery. It is from the Indian Wells Brewery, okay, brewed in small batches with only honest ingredients. Pure Indian Wells spring water, malted barley, hops, and wheat. Okay. It's definitely really hoppy, but one thing, I'll have to go to the website and tell you the alcohol percentage. It'll be down in the description below. Let's go ahead and pour this IPA and see what it looks like. It smells delicious. Look at that. That is looking gorgeous. That's the way I like a beer to look. It's somewhere in between a dark red ale and a Pilsner, and it is looking fresh. It is looking the way that I like it. Man. Really excited about this. You can see the color in it. You can see a little bit there. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about, Brendan. This is Tenacious Freak. This is the one. This is the one that I like. This is the Travel Man Dan appeal. If I see this, this is the kind of perfect beer. Yeah, because it's not super light like the last one, which I like light beers, but it's also not super dark, which I also like dark beers. It's just right in the middle. Yummy is right, gents. I'm going to go ahead and take a swig, and I'll tell you what it tastes like. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, wow. That is good. That is really tasty. Wow. Really good IPA. I gotta be honest with you, I've been all across the board with IPAs because people get really fancy with them. They get hazy with it, right? They get fruity with it. They get way off from the original IPA taste. The taste that, when IPA sat on the shelves for a long time in the 90s and early 2000s. It wasn't until after 2010 that it became hip to grab an IPA. But, wow, this is the taste that I'm talking about. It's got a delicious taste. It's so clean that you can taste, as you're drinking it, the separation of the barley, and you can taste the wheat flavor, and you can definitely, as you're drinking it, smell the hops. I hope they have it at least too. One more time, I'm going to show you guys Amnesia IPA. Okay, I like the label as well, Barrow. It's got like almost like a clip art. Is that what they call it? Clip art appeal to it. It's very simplistic, but it's got a couple of dudes. They're whacking down beers. It's got a great name, and we'll get into that a little bit later on the scoring. But I'll tell you, the taste is absolutely delicious. So guys, let's go into next week's video. Next week is Reading Man Dan. As I look at the schedule, Travel Man Dan beer. Eventually, Barrow, eventually. We have to build it. We don't want to get too crazy. One of the reasons I haven't put out the coloring book by now is because the schools aren't in. So I'm doing it very strategically. I'm doing it as I grow. My audience gets bigger, so when these things happen, you have more of an attraction in the very beginning. But I hope to definitely do that. Next week's video is Reading Man Dan. I don't know if you guys saw last week's video. We totally skipped it, but the Travel Man Dan trailer, if you haven't seen that video, please check it out. Pass it along, if you will. Show people. That is the essence of what we're doing here. It talks about how I started the travel channel, how I now do the food channel, I do the reading channel since the pandemic, and we do the live show. And it really is a fun trailer for me to put on because it's the first thing when new people go to my channel and they've never seen that, when they see it. And thank you so much for Jens, Freak, Barrow, all you guys that went on that video and commented. I really appreciate that support because it validates, well, that you're interested and that you give me the opportunity to host an audience. That's huge for me. That's, as an entertainer, let's throw all the actors stuff out. As an entertainer, that gives me a platform, if you will, to go and entertain you each and every week with different videos. And you know what? If I niche down, if I only went travel, if I only went food, if I only went Reading Man Dan, I'd probably do better, to be honest with you. I'd probably grow faster. But I like what I do. I do this because I like doing it. So I'm going to continue improving each and every character, show, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to stop. And thank you, Jens. And this is what you get. But if you watch that trailer, it'll walk you through it. And in 4 minutes, you'll be able to understand this is a wacky guy with a fun channel. So this week, we're going to be reading a fun book, a really quick, short book, but I thought it would be cool for kids that are back in school, get a little sluggish around February. I remember being back in school in February, and we're going to do the lunch box surprise. Check that guy out right there. That's what you'll be seeing coming out this Friday. Really fun, rhyming, easy book for first graders. We're also probably going to sneak in another book for Black History Month. So that's pretty fun. So stay tuned to that. Hit the like button, smash it, mash it, whatever you want. We can go late 2000s, but definitely appreciate that and look for that video. Let's go back to the beer. I'm really digging this IPA from Indian Wells. As you can see, it's got a perfect color to it. It's like a light brown. I'm looking at it through the reflection of the studio light. Very flat. Maybe that's what I like about it. I don't like a super fizzy, foamy beer. Usually you'll find that with, well, like the normal brand, the cheaper beers, but really smooth and delicious. And wow, it's got a perfect taste to it. It's really, it's like thick syrup almost, but it's smooth and not hard to swallow. Sometimes you're drinking like a thick stout, right? And it does taste like a syrup. Thank you. That was, yeah, thank you, Barrow. That was just what I was showing you, but that's what my thumbnails look like. But you will see that. Do a rematch. Doing it. I like that. What do you want to hear? Southern? Well, I'll tell you what there, Tenacious Freak. Next week, well, I reckon we're going to be bringing in the Lunchbox Surprise. Really fun book about, you know, well, first graders and their ability to open up the lunchbox and see what they got to eat. You know what I'm saying? Well, anyway. I always go Ultra Houston. I don't know what it is. It's fun for me. All right, Scottish I'm working on. And well, anyway, the book is coming out soon. But now, Barrow, you're here. It's time for your part, buddy. It's time for your favorite part of the show, and that is this day in history. Barrow action. Get ready. Here we go. All right. On this day in history, January 31st. Oh, I forgot to do a disclaimer. Disclaimer, guys. I'm not a history teacher. I'm not a history professor. I am not a history connoisseur. No, connoisseur is, I think, someone that tastes it. Anyway, I don't know everything about history. I'm a history enthusiast. I'm not a history buff. I go ahead and research topics, and I bring them and share them with you so that you have fun little facts of like, you know, that drunatic, she really knows a lot about nothing. Or, geez, Tenacious Freak, why would he know that? All right, but anyway, have fun with it. Here comes this day in history. This day in history, January 31st, 1747. The very first venereal diseases clinic opens at the London Lock Hospital in London. Whoa! More factual than news. Nice. All right, so back in 1747, all right, you had a little itch. You had a little burn. Maybe you were out having a little fun. You know, who knows? You were in some kind of weird situation. Maybe you were in a saloon. Maybe you were a pirate. Maybe you were just hanging out in your Aborigine jungle. But whatever the case be, in 1747, the very first venereal disease hospital opened up, okay? Take care of stuff like syphilis and gonorrhea and herpes. And well, you know, I think herpes wasn't as rampant as syphilis. But thank you, Barrow. I wasn't laughing at history. I wasn't laughing at syphilis or herpes. Because you gotta remember, back then, syphilis was a terrible disease and they didn't have a cure for it. And it would rot people's noses, right? If you read British literature, okay, classic British literature, they often refer to the noseless people, right? And they had syphilis. It does some weird infection where the viral infection goes and starts eating away the cartilage on your nose. So many people back in, well, I'd say like the 16th century to the 18th century would lose their noses due to, you know, venereal diseases. So, you know, be careful. And I don't know when the condom was invented either, but I don't think it was around back then. Yeah, meat-eating bacteria. See, that just doesn't sound right. But anyway, that was in this day in history. On this day in history, January 31st, 1865, Congress passes the 13th Amendment. It won 121 to 24. What was the 13th Amendment? Well, it abolishes slavery in America. Hell yeah. Love this one. Love the 13th Amendment. You know, we've talked about it in the show before. I don't want to get into it too much because I've had a couple of beers, and you know, it makes me a little emotional, to be honest with you. If I'm being 100% honest with you, I don't think that any person, civilization, race should ever be enslaved, and I think that it's really damaged the people for years. Okay, and we're still feeling the effects of it each and every day in our modern world. Good thing that was passed here in my country. I hope that we can persevere and continue to get better. I know that nobody is enslaved as we know it. Maybe somewhere in the world it is. But on this day in history, in 1865, Congress passed the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery. And I think that's a monumental, enormous win for our country. All right, on this day in history, on January 31st, 1924, Herma Sazabu agrees. Some will say that we're all slaves now. It's a different kind of slave, right? It's a different kind of slave. It's one thing to be enslaved economically, which is what a lot of people are, right? It's one thing to be financially enslaved, but I'm talking about the slavery in the United States that went on when Africans were sold to plantation owners. Just this awful part of history, an awful part of human life, and on this day in history, thank gosh that amendment was put into place. But anyway, let's go back. I'm going to pronounce this as best as I can. It is an Austrian name. I don't know how good I'll do, but help me out. Herma Zabau of Austria wins the ladies figure skating gold medal at the Chamonix Winter Olympics in France. I don't know. Chamonix. Probably pronounced with some type of accent on the X. But why was this significant? Because in 1924, the Chamonix Winter Olympics was the very first Winter Olympics. And it was the only women's event, figure skating. Who won it? Herma Zazabal. Okay, I've probably botched up almost every word I could in that. I'm really sorry about that. So, don't hold me to it. I'm drinking beers. I'm speaking in, well, I guess 3 different languages. And I'm sorry if the accents were wrong. But what we should take from this day in history was that this was the week of the very first Winter Olympics in 1924. And on this particular day, thank you, Drunatech. I can laugh with you if you're laughing at me. It's all good. It was the very first Winter Olympics and the only women's event at the games, and it was won by an Austrian woman named Herma Zabau. All right, moving on. 1961, on this day in history, okay, tying back into space travel, Ham the chimpanzee is the very first primate, okay, to go into space. He went 158 miles into space, okay, aboard the Mercury Redstone 2. You can laugh at me too, that's all good. Ham was born in July 1957, later died in 1983, but is also known as Ham the Chimp or Ham the Astro Chimp. Wow. Space Chimp was awesome. Yes, Jens, you know what I'm talking about. You imagine Ham the Chimp. Now, there is an acronym for Ham, and it was named after something, the astronaut who went before him a little bit into the atmosphere was also nicknamed Ham, but also stands for an acronym of the space station. I don't know what it was for sure. You can go ahead and research it. But Ham the Chimp. Imagine being a chimp. You have no friggin' clue what's going on, dude. You probably went through some crazy testing. Somebody that doesn't believe a chimp went to space. That's funny, Brendan. No, it happened. Ham the chimp. Imagine that poor little chimp, man. He had no clue what he was going through. They put him in a chair, strap him down, all those G-forces whipping him around just to get tested. Then they shoot him up into space. This poor chimp. Oh, man. You have no idea what they're thinking, right? Martin, did you fall asleep? Oh, I know it's late over there, guys. We're going to speed this up. Thanks for hanging with me. Pretty much we're at 90 minutes of show now, and that's okay with me. If it's okay with you, we're going to continue on this day in history, January 31st. All right. 1990. The very first McDonald's opened up in Moscow. Woohoo! All right. Well, it was actually at that time the Soviet Union. So the very first McDonald's opens up, and I remember seeing videos for that. It was pretty insane. But also on this day in history, and dogs, poor animals in space. I know these poor animals. They have no friggin' idea what's going on. They're getting shot up into space. And this day in history, January 31st, 1993. Okay, let's see if this is actually from there. It is. All right, this is what happened, guys. I had to do it, right? 1993, Super Bowl 27. It was at the Rose Bowl. It was the fourth Super Bowl in a row that the Bills went to. They played the Dallas Cowboys, who had already beaten them the previous year. And they whipped the shit out of us. Pigs in Space. I love Pigs in Space. Lunatic. I love that movie. They whipped the shit out of us, guys. 52-17. I have the hat to prove that we made it. On this day in history, okay, was... I seen that morbid test video with... yeah. This day in history, the Buffalo Bills lost to the Dallas Cowboys 52-17 and Super Bowl 27. So another heartbreaker. It was the last year that the Bills made it to the Super Bowl or made it that far. We almost made it this year, but I thought I would tie this in. Yeah, all right. Hopefully we'll be back next year, but this is a hat from that Super Bowl from 1993 that I wore proud. I thought that was the year. That was the year that we had figured shit out against Dallas, and we didn't. We got stopped. We're going to do it one day. Swear to you guys, we're gonna do it, and it's gonna feel so damn good when we get there. It's gonna feel so damn good. That dog put back to life. What's going on, freak? I don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about dogs in space, though, guys. This is what we're drinking. We're still drinking the Amnesia IPA. It is absolutely delicious. Let's go ahead and slug it down. Smooth all the way. Love that hoppiness taste mixed in there. Well, it doesn't taste like a cereal taste like most of the lagers do. It's got a malty flavor, like a malt flavor, but it's not overpowering. There's a lot of complexity, as I said before, as you do taste a lot of different flavors. And one thing I like about it is the most significant flavor is the hop. It is that delicious hoppy flavor, making this IPA just a wonderful drink, and I'm really loving just the overall taste of it. Guys, now it's time to go into what are you reading, what are you watching. Having a lot of fun reading this week. Been really busy, been doing some good stuff here, working hard, and well, didn't get a lot of chance to dive into a novel. So what I do is I read this a lot. Now, this is the Actor's Thesaurus. If you're an actor, I suggest you get it. Why do you have a thesaurus when you have the computer and the internet? Well, what I do here for this is there's no specific rhyme or reason. But what I like to do, and it really helps me here on YouTube, is I open up maybe to 4 or 5 pages. So I'll, like, say I'll spend like a half an hour reading each day. I'll just open up to page E, right? And then I'll go to this word, and I'll pick a word. Like, all right, let's do endorse. Okay, it's the only, and then it gives you all the different words that are the same meaning as endorse, but different words, and it really just kind of strengthens your vocabulary, like advocate, affirm, approve, authorize, back, confirm. And I try to make sentences with them. I just try to read them. I read as many words as I possibly can in a half an hour. I try to do what I can with a sentence, with not only that word, but a specific another word is pulled off their definition, okay, or the thesaurus. What do you call it? Just a similar synonym. Ooh, he's getting drunk. Synonym, okay. And I love using the thesaurus to build your vocabulary. And why do I say that it's good for an actor? Because, well, you can take a lot of these words and build adjectives out of it. So I know as strange and odd as that seems, I'm always trying to do what I can right now to better myself as an actor. So I might rip off a few words, I might rip off a few sentences, and then I'll act them out. Just here in the room. Just here, right here in the studio. I'll just rip out a couple of scenes, an improv scene or two, using the word in mind. But also to strengthen my vocabulary, because vlogging, sometimes you're out there, you're on the spot, you're looking for creative words. I always dig into this, but this week especially, I really dug into it. And, you're not going to see any enormous benefits, but over time, as your vocabulary increases, Space Force is good. I heard that's awesome. Is that the one with Steve Carell? That's what I like to do. What am I watching? Well, you've seen the shirt, okay? Why am I wearing the shirt? And this is why, because I was watching a little Marilyn Monroe and Clark Gable. Guys, if you haven't checked it out, I strongly recommend. It's an older movie from 1961. It's the last movie Marilyn Monroe and Clark Gable ever did, and it's called The Misfits. It's great. I love the old black and white movies. It's about, well, I'll just give you the synopsis of it. Clark Gable is a cowboy, and Marilyn Monroe is in Reno, Nevada, and she's getting a divorce. I think that's where you went to get a divorce, because it wasn't legal other places. But anyway, they get a divorce. Love that t-shirt. Check this movie out, True to Think. It's called The Misfits. It's awesome. Then they all go with Clark Gable's friend and Marilyn Monroe's friend to a cabin. And the one thing I love about it is the one scene. It's just so good, right? They're drinking like modern day people. This movie was made in 1961, so it was 60 years later, and then you to current day, and they're drinking away, and they're just having like normal, like, hey, give me some more whiskey, I'll take some more whiskey, and they're drinking it up, and like they're polishing it. Then there's a dance scene with Marilyn Monroe and Clark Gable, and then Frank Killard taps on Clark Gable's shoulder and is like, yo, man, you stealing my girl? You know what I'm saying? Like, I like this girl. Now you're taking her. And he moves in, and he's cutting the rug. He's not doing the Charleston anything, but he's doing some old-fashioned dancing. It's a great scene in the cabin. Very wholesome, very cool movie. And if you like Marilyn Monroe, if you like classic movies, definitely check out The Misfits. It's on Amazon now. All right, excuse me. Now, it's time to go ahead. The second beer always gets rushed, I want to say, or it gets drank faster, but that's okay. I'm still analyzing. There's a lot of stuff to get into. A lot of the intro cuts into the time of the actual beer review in the first half, but still enjoying it. This is what we're drinking. If you just hopped on, we're drinking Amnesia IPA. If you hung with us, wherever you are in the world, I absolutely love you guys. Thank you so much. It means so much to me. I will not forget it. I'll tell you right to your face that I love you, because you guys support me. You guys are there each and every week. And as this continues to grow, we don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to continually show up. Could go big time. If it doesn't, I'm still going to continue to do it. I love doing this. And thank you for being an audience. This is what we're drinking. I'm going to whack this sucker down. We're going to go to the scorecard. I'm going to leave you with the quote of the week. Cheers, everybody. Wow. That is delicious. That's what I like about it. It's just got a nice IPA taste. It's not overpowering. There's no bells and whistles on it. When I hear IPA, this is the type of beer I'm thinking about. So let's go to the scorecard. Guys, I'm not going to pull any punches. Hey, Ouija Pro Creator, what's up? Welcome. You're gonna be on the show soon. I cannot wait. All right, this one I'm really digging it. I'm not gonna pull any punches. I'm not gonna waste any time. I'm getting right into the score. They're getting a score of a 4.5. Well, 4.5 for the Amnesia IPA. It's delicious. Do you have any Danish chocolates left? I do. They're right over there. I save them for special occasions. I'll probably have some tonight. So guys, I'm not bullshitting you. This beer is amazing. This beer is so tasty. It's what you look for when you want an IPA. It's got a nice bite to it. It doesn't have any fruity, weird off taste to it. When you think IPA, this is what you're getting. I love it. The hoppiness on it is brilliant. It's got a complexity of a few different flavors in there, but each one is really tasty. It's delicious. It's the kind of IPA I think is definitely pretty strong, right? I don't know what the alcohol percentage is, but I have to go to the website. But I think that this is the kind of IPA where you have about 5 of them, and you're, right? You're Nate Messick. Boom. All right, you're feeling good, and you're bombed. All right, price. Now, the price for what you get, not a bad price. This beer was $4. Not a bad price. A little bit more expensive than the other one, but hey, if it's stronger and it tastes like it tastes, I think it all levels out. I think it's worth it. And you know, if it's one of the smaller batches that the brewing company is suggesting, I think they have a liable point, and I think an extra $1 for a 12-ounce bottle of beer is okay. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a score of a 4.0. I think that's a good price. I think $4, okay? I think it's solid, right? I love the beer. I gave it almost a 5.0. So to spend $4 on a bottle of beer, that's good. Well worth it. All right, now design. Some people like the design. I'm not overly, like drawn to it. I think it's cool. Weekly beer gathering, yes, we did. We're doing it, man. We're doing it. It's like, you can't look too far in the future when you're actually doing it in the now. You got to enjoy the moment, and that's what we're doing. Because of you, because of everybody that joins me, this thing's going to pop. It's going to grow. I'm going to get better. It's going to grow, and, be proud because you guys are the audience that's, showed up and supported me from the very beginning, and I will never forget that. But let's look at it. I'm not too crazy about it. But one thing I really like, I don't know if this is me. I don't know if this is a weird thing. Me and Freak have talked about this before. He likes when it's got green labels. I think the green label is cool. But what I think, thank you, Frank. What I think is really cool is just the simplicity of the green cap. I don't know why that's so weird to me, but I just like that. I like the label catches attention. Okay, so we're getting some good reviews on it. I just think that the cap, just being a single solid color, not having the label on it, just being like, to me, it does something. Have to score less than the first one. I agree, Frank. Thank you, guys. It just does something weird. Like, I don't know. It just says to me, like, all right, it's a craft beer. They're trying, but they're not trying too hard. Let's just go with the single color to match the label. I mean, you do got no gold or anything. Yeah, you do got a couple of dudes, and they're whacking down beers. It does look like some 90s clip art, but overall, I'm not too impressed with the design. I don't think it's fantastic. I think it's a cool bottle. Brown on green, like me and Freak had talked about earlier and about 3 shows ago. I think that is a neat look, but overall, I'm not too impressed. And the design, I'm going to give it a 3.0. Okay, 90s clip art. You know what I'm talking about. Doesn't it look like that? Like you pulled it off of just whatever those 90s clip art were. Whatever. All right, accessibility. This beer is hard to get. Really hard to get. There's only 1 or 2 of them left in the rack at the store I went to. I've never seen it before. They put right on the label, brewed in small batches with only honest ingredients. So it's really hard to get. It is brewed in Indian Wells. Okay, I don't even know how in Vorkin, California. It's probably some weird small town up north. Extremely hard to get. Okay, agree. Only good thing is green. Yeah, nothing else does. I mean, I like the two guys dancing and getting blitzed, but you know, nothing really stabs me. Destination, yeah, possibly, possibly. I just got a truck, and I'm gonna be taking a lot more adventures up north because Brewery Tour 22. I like it. Yes, Frank, that's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm thinking I'm gonna wear the American Man Dan cap. I'm gonna definitely try to get overseas, but you know what I would really prefer to do is keep filming the western part where it's accessible, where I can still work my full-time job and still create videos, and then hopefully, you know, God willing, I go ahead and I make this a full-time thing. We'll be traveling the world, dude. We'll be traveling it. Green is my favorite color. Borrowed, very cool. Brewery tour. I gotta tell you guys something real quick. In brewery tour, as we deeter off. So the accessibility, I'm gonna give it a low score of a 2.0. Very hard to get. Very hard to get. If you get it, awesome. Okay, but I want to tell you guys about a brewery tour that I'm so excited about. I'm so pumped up. If you saw 2 weeks ago the Paula's Donut collaboration that I did with Flying Bison. Okay, one question: what is the average price on beer you guys bought in the supermarket? It depends, man. It's all over the place. Sometimes you can pay for like weird, obscure stuff like this from like $6 per bottle, or like $18 per 6 pack, or you can buy cheap $18 for a 24 pack. It just really, it's all across the board. There really is no rhyme or reason behind it. Well, there is. It's smaller and harder to get beers are more expensive. But what I was telling you about is the brewery, Flying Bison, that made the peanut stick donut and the red velvet ale, freaking emailed me and invited me to the brewery, and it made my day on Wednesday. I was so excited about it, so pumped. I'm gonna hopefully be able to do a collaboration where I go in there and do an actual video of the beer vats and have fun and, like, you know, do that whole like travel video of Food Friday of I'm drinking beer. But also I want to try to set it up this summer where I'm doing live from the brewery weekly beer and video review show. So, you know, I'm in contact with the owner. They personally emailed me. Really sweet people, really nice. Yeah, it was so cool. It made my day. Like, it's like a big win on a, you know what I mean? Like a huge win. So really pumped up about that. So stay tuned. Look for the, yeah, I'm really, and that's exactly what I wanted to do with the show, is continue to grow it and eventually be able to, you know, go to bars and go to breweries and do it live. 7.2. Wow. Thank you. Invite the crew. Well, I would love that, Frank. I would love that if you guys could come there in Buffalo. You know, I'll be there hopefully in July. So, you know, if you can make it, you know, bring your girl, bring your friends. It's always fun to come and see Niagara Falls. We'll make a whole fun day of it. We can do it from a local pub. Hopefully everything will be open by then. That's the main constituent. I didn't know this Amnesia was 7.2, but I definitely feel it now that I'm drinking it. Anyway, let's go into the TMD factor. You know, to be honest with you, excuse me, there really isn't anything that grabs me other than the taste. If you're looking for a delicious IPA, this one is a freaking winner. Okay, I'll give it a good score on that. But other than that, I have no attraction to the label. I have no attraction to where it's made. I just doesn't really do anything to me in terms of the TMD factor. But with that being said, I think it's really cool that it's a small brewery and they produce something delicious. That right there is going to up the level, because, you know, you can have a small brewery and then not care about the product, or it's just not out there enough, and maybe not enough people know about it, and maybe I can spread the word. But I'm telling you right now, if this product gets out there, you're all going to know about it because it tastes good. And that is, in business, numero uno, law number one. If you got a good product, people will buy it. This one is delicious. I definitely like it. Doesn't grab me on the TMD factor with something super great. I don't know how else to word it, but I'm still going to give it a good score because the taste is really good. And I'm going to give it a 3.5. Okay, so let me go ahead and tally these up. I need a little bit of a quick minute as my math. Okay, we got 7, 9, 12.5. 17. Okay, we have a total score of a 17 for the Amnesia IPA. Not a bad score at all. And look great in the glass. Thank you. Yeah, that's 17. Okay, there is the scorecard from today. It is a 17. Let me see if I can piece this up for all you viewers out there right now. All right. Where the hell is the ANGKOR? Obi, are you still with us? Check it out. We're bringing it back. Obi, let me know if you're still here, if you're watching, if you're listening. Okay, the ANGKOR got an 18.5. The Amnesia IPA got a 17, which was a really good score. There is a scorecard. I'll always post it again on my Instagram stories, my Facebook stories. So if you haven't added me on that, go ahead, add me on that. I'm on TikTok also, but I don't think I really add that. I'm going to do what Jen suggested, where I do the What Would You Rather on TikTok. I'm pretty pumped about that. But now I want to go ahead and bring up the quote of the week. And this is brought to us by Clark Gable, a famous American actor who I recently spoke of in the movie The Misfits. And he said this, all right? He said, "The things a man has to have are hope and confidence in himself against odds. And sometimes he needs somebody, his pal, or his mother, or his wife, or God, to give him that confidence." And I think that's really cool. I don't know if this really resonated with me, because so often in life, right, you may see or meet or pretend to be confident or see somebody confident, but yet they're underwater and they're on the surface, they're not so confident. But what brings them that confidence that they can walk around in everyday life is maybe somebody else. Maybe somebody in their life that you never even know. You know, your good friend, and then his mother could bring him the confidence, or his wife. Okay, I know for me personally, I'm not married, but my friends are everything to me. And some of my best friends, and they know who they are. They give me that strength and confidence. My brothers, my family. Okay, you need that in other people. But here's the other thing to this quote, is you never know where you fit into somebody else's life when it comes to confidence. So understand, you may be that pal, or you may be that significant other, wife or mother, okay? You may be that person, okay, to be that confidence in other people, because to be honest with you, at all times, people, you know, at some point, everybody gets scared and unconfident of their abilities to do something. Now, whether that's monumental, like making a step onto a new job and creating yourself and a new persona. This is the spirit that makes. Thank you so much, Frank. Or whether it's flipping an omelet and a new frittata lid, okay? Somebody gives you that confidence that you can do it. It's not all on you. You'd like to think it is, but it's not, okay? And Clark Gable said it, and it aligns with a lot of the beliefs and reasonings that I have. It's like, you know, one, find out who these people are to you and be good to them. And then always be good to other people, right? Be kind to other people. And other people say, like, wow, you know, on the surface, like, why would I be kind? Of course you'd be kind. You'd be nice and good and stuff like that. But the real underbelly of that situation, the real powerful, impactful way that you have is being kind to someone provides a confidence to people. Telling people that, you know, you believe in them. Whether you're your friend, that's your friend. Listen, I talk to my best friends all the time. I believe in them. I want them to succeed. I don't, you know, just tell them that because it sounds good to them. Like, I believe in them. You have no idea how much that builds their confidence and may get them over that gap. Especially in a time like right now where COVID, people are insecure, their self-esteem is low, they're fatigued, they're down in the luck, whatever the case be. Be that sunshine in their day, if you will, right? Be that confidence that uplifts people, that tells them, look, dude, you can do it. whatever that is relative to your lifestyle, you can accomplish it. I stand behind you. And you know what? If you're not strong enough to do it, if you fall down, if you get queasy, if you fall back a little bit, me as your friend, as your husband, as your significant other, I'm going to be right there like a fucking rock to pick you up and not let you fall. So please take that with you this week. Be confident in your abilities through other people and reciprocate that back to others, and be just as confident to them. Give them that confidence that they can accomplish everything. And I promise you, your life is going to be more optimistic and positive as we continue. It's super strong words. I know it came from an actor. It might have been written in one of his films, but it really resonates with me as I read it over and kind of take it in. But guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. This is what we did, an 18.5 ANGKOR. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed this beer would have got the strongest? Who knows? This one got a 17. This is not a bad score. Delicious beer. Just didn't have a lot much more going to her, or else it probably would have touched it. Amen. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, I really believe that. And anybody that knows me knows I'm passionate about that. You know, I don't have much, you know, but I'm building for it always. Ambition, you know. And I'm ambitious because other people build that in me, and I want to give that back. So those are some true words. Those are the beers that we had. Guys, thank you so much for hanging with me. I appreciate all your time. For each and every one of you, we'll be back here next week, same time. Thank you so much. Thanks, Aquanuts. Goodbye, guys. I'm Travel Man Dan. This is Marilyn Monroe. Remember, it's a big world out there. Make sure you see every bit of it. Thank you, Tenacious. Thank you, Aqua. Thank you, Barrow. Thank you, Martin. Let's see who else. Brendan, I know you're still here. Marie, are you still here? Frank, thank you so much. Okay, bye, everybody. Who else? If I missed you, Ouija Pro Creator, I know you're still here. I just didn't know if you were still here or not. Jens, my main man, thank you so much. Good to have you here. Drunatic, thank you so much. I may have a chocolate in your honor. I appreciate it, guys. Have a wonderful week. Thank you, everyone. Be kind to everyone. Super. If you check it out, the Misfits, thanks for the great show. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.